Hello, fellow lights and light travelers. This week's reading was a little different. I decided to sit in meditation before doing the reading. So there are some messages that came through beforehand that ended up connecting into the reading, which was wonderful. This feels like for the collective, this is calling forth people that are perhaps at a bit of a transition point. This is calling them to give grace, and a little shimmer of hope. So I hope you all enjoy this. If it resonates, you take what resonates, leave the rest. And sending you forth, enjoy the reading, cups, thresholds, and presence. Fellow lights and light travelers, welcome again to Light Journeys Tarot. I'm so grateful that you're here connecting with me again today. We're going to see what Spirit wants to bring through for you. When I was in meditation earlier, I did get some visuals that came through, some clairvoyance. So if any of this sticks out to you, this could be for you. Just know that this is a collective reading, so always take what resonates, leave the rest. Some of the visuals that did come through, I saw like a tulle skirt that was black with like gold shimmer or glitter in it. It felt very light, so I felt like it was like gold shimmer. I saw a cup, like it looked like a tin cup or a silver cup that filled with water, and there was a couple of little bubbles that appeared from the pouring. I also had an impression come forth. It looked like a man sitting in the front driving a car, a truck, I don't know, some type of vehicle. So he was to the front left. So this is probably, at least in my mind, how I'm connecting it in the U.S. Or in a U.S. type card. But maybe Spirit was just bringing through how I could connect to it. But it looked like a figure, a male in the front seat. I didn't see a face. I just saw his arm. Laying next to him, kind of in that middle armrest in the front seat between the front and the passenger, was like a baseball bat. So I saw a baseball bat that was, it looked beige. So it looked like it was just pure light, like a light wood, glazed. I don't think it was painted. It just looked like a glazed wooden bat, but it was definitely beige in color. And then I saw what seemed like a child sitting in the back seat. So if they were in the front left, the child was in this next behind row in the back right. And the child kind of reaches forward and puts their arm on that individual's, puts their hand on the individual's arm. And it looked like the kid, and it felt like a kid, had kind of like chipped nail polish. So if any of that resonates for you, perhaps there's a message here for you. If it doesn't, there absolutely still could be a message here for you. As always, as this is a collective reading, take what resonates, leave the rest. I read the energies as they currently stand, but please do know that what's meant for you will always find you, and that you have free will. You have the ultimate power in your life to proceed with anything however you want to. So, right, we take what resonates, we leave the rest, and you are invited by Spirit and, Source to lead with love for the highest good of yourself, and also trust yourself to lead from the heart. Trust yourself and know that you do have the answers within. You do have the answers, and we're all connected, and everything's going to be okay. So with that being said, I'm very excited to dive into this week's deck. I have felt very connected to this deck. I've had messages already come through in meditation at a separate time from this deck for myself. So I am very excited to read for you all. So let's see what Spirit brings forth. Let's get into it. All right, Spirit, what message wants to come through for the collective this week? What message wants to come through? Okay, feeling pulled to stop. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the King of Swords. And we have Judgment. All right, let's see what this entails. Let's go card by card. Okay, so the Eight of Cups is normally about walking away, about moving on. Excuse me. What I am first drawn to is, before we even started, what had come through when I had set the intention during meditation to bring through what was going to come forth for this reading, is I saw a tin cup, right? This looks exactly like what I saw. It was like kind of like this first one, and it was full, and it had been full. As this is about walking away and moving on, and the waters being full, I feel like you've reached a point of, or at least Spirit's bringing through that, a point of completion with a current situation has been reached, right? Like if you look at this cup, right, it's at the max. And that's how I saw it too. When it came into my mind, it was like a silver or tin cup, and it filled up, and it kind of was like, it had poured and kind of created some bubbles that were popping. And what came to me was like bursting the bubble, being full, being filled up. And it doesn't feel like, in any negative sense, this feels like I'm ready. I've been filled with the knowledge, or the completion of this phase or this situation, and I'm ready to move forth. What's beautiful about this is that Spirit feels like it's inviting you, right? This is a doorway, and you yourself have the option. You're being invited, right, to step into this unknown journey that can lead you. This looks like it's going up into the mountains. So it's going up higher. So this is an ascension that it is bringing you towards. That's saying, if you are so willing, things will be revealed to you. If you are willing to trust in yourself and your inner knowing and your higher guidance and what you've been taught so far, there is divine guidance, there is light upon your path, and there is an ascended pathway here. There is a journey that's being offered to you to move forth in this, because where you're currently at feels like it's reached a completion point. That cup is filled for you, and it's full for you. And maybe in some aspects, right, you're looking at some of the cups, they look like they're not quite full, but the rest of them, boom, 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 look full. And you could read this as, there's been a lot of, right, there's a leaky roof, all this stuff. What it feels like to me, what's coming through, is this space that you are within. So it could be a house, it could be just a life experience, a life situation. You've outgrown it. You've been here a long time. You've been here a long time, and you've done the work that needs to be done. But at this point, you've outgrown this space. You've outgrown this space, and you're being invited to step outside of the confines of those four walls of this old version of yourself and how you move through this world, into this expansive, limitless, ascending version that's guided, and there's fresh air. There's not this leaky roof anymore. There's air, and there's guidance, and there's trust in yourself. So wherever this is leading you, it is an invitation to explore and see what is on your path, and to trust that. So, and I saw that cup come through in my meditation. So thank you, Spirit, again for the confirmation. Love it. Grateful, grateful, grateful as always. This is about leadership, clarity of purpose, ambition, right? This is you. I'm drawn first to the yellow scarf, and there's confidence here. I'm also, what's coming into my mind is when I'm looking at her sneakers, there's a comfort in this position for you. This is you speaking your truth. So perhaps in stepping into this new chapter and this new journey, there is some form of leadership that you will be taking. What I feel here, what came into my brain is the sword of truth. So speaking your truth, or living in a truthful way, or knowing and being guided by your north node, your guiding light, that north star, following your truth. speaking your truth, confidently doing it, and doing it so like you are comfortable. This doesn't feel like something that's overwhelming for you. This feels like you're going to be so you are shouting your truth from the rooftops, and it doesn't necessarily mean in an aggressive way. There is just, like this old chapter of you that doesn't serve anymore. This feels like you're stepping into a confident, truth-guided, sovereign, comfortable in your own skin human being. So perhaps if you go through this door, what could be awaiting you on the other side is this version of yourself that has trust and steps into that leadership and has confidence and is comfortable in being who they truly are and knowing that they have the sort of truth. This doesn't feel like something to wound, right? This isn't being held in like offensive, defensive position. You're not protecting and you're not jousting at anyone. This is being held down like I'm holding my sword of truth, and I will speak my truth and live my truth and be my truth unashamedly in my comfort and in the glory of trusting and loving who I am completely. Stepping into this new ascended version of myself with the shadows cast behind me. And this feels like I'm also drawn to speak to the fact that she's indigenous. So it could be that you yourself are indigenous, or this could be saying that you are going back to and feeling called to personally getting back to that harmonious way that the indigenous people of all lands across all the world lived in harmony with the earth, with their truth, with their senses. So there's that flow state, that is that receiving, that is that calling forth, that's integrating and being one with the earth, and just allowing the messages and stuff to come through to you and come out of you, right? Speaking that truth from a place of sovereignty and of power of oneself, and not power in a hateful or domineering way. It is a power of, I know that I am loved. I know that I am part of the divine. I know that we all deserve a place in this world, and I'm speaking from that place of power and sovereignty to push some type of truth forward for myself or for others. It's beautiful. You're a very beautiful, brave soul. I'm grateful to be reading for you. I also kind of wanted to touch on her being, it looks like an older woman, so this could be that you're coming into a wisdom in your life. You're stepping into an elder role or a viewpoint of knowledge, and you're sharing and speaking that knowledge. So that felt like it wanted to come through as well. So judgment here feels like it's with awakening and acceptance. This feels like a transition point in your life. So if you are to go through this transition, or you are transitioning, right, and you step into this role, you feel like you're being called forth for a higher purpose. Perhaps in sharing the wisdom that you have or that you've gained, and that leadership and that courage and that speaking of your truth, you are going to be reaching others. You are going to be affecting others. You are going to be making a difference in multiple people's lives. So not only your own, but in sharing the wisdom that you've gained and in speaking your truth, you are lighting up others around you, right? It's clearing the sun in the sky, right? It's parting the clouds. You're helping people to be like, oh, me too. I see this. I see myself in that. Their story is similar to mine. We're connected, and everything is going to be okay. There's this white flag, and I don't feel like it's a white flag of surrender. This feels like of peace, of knowingness, of recognition, okay? So this feels like in speaking your truth, this neutrality of, I am not othering you. We are all one together. and there is this light that you will bring to others, and it'll help them transcend it. It'll help them awaken. So in your awakening and in your sharing and in your transition, you're speaking your own truth. And this could be on big platforms. This could be at your workplace. This could be in your community. This could be in your family. And you speaking your truth and living your truth and being fully authentic and sharing your wisdom, that energy field that you emanate from within you and around you will cause ripple effects in a positive way to others, and you will help them to awaken, and you will help them to enlighten. So you'll help them to also reach new heights and see pathways and have new perspectives, higher perspectives on top of that hill, to be able to look at things from a different viewpoint, vantage point of how things have gone in their life, why this was necessary for the time being, why these spaces served for when they did, and why they no longer serve, and why it's okay to move forward, right? And you sharing your journey and living this journey and moving forward and sharing and just being authentically you, be it big or small or however, you are affecting others and you are helping them to awaken and transcend. So you are yourself a part of this beautiful evolution of life. You think about, sometimes birds will eat, and they'll grab a seed and they'll eat it, and they'll digest it, and when they release it from their digestion, it lands somewhere else, and then that seed is then thus fertilized, and it goes into it, and then it roots and it becomes a tree, right? You are part of this ecosystem. You are part of this ecosystem of souls and humanity and source and the universe, right? You are integrant. You are integrant. Oh my God, I can speak. You are woven together into, I can't say the word. Okay, well, we're moving past the word. You are woven together, and you are part of this together, and you are all integrated. Thank you. I finally got there. Yay me. As part of this, right? We are all together, and your story matters. Your story matters. The lived experience that you have gone through affects the world. And the lived experience that you share affects and shares and helps others to either learn things or see things or just not feel so alone. So I'm grateful for you being you, and I hope you know that you're important, and I feel like it's important to say that, and that your story is important, and that in recognizing that within each other, that we all have beautiful things to bring into this world, and that there's this cohesion and this, importantness of balance and harmony together, that you all see it reflected in yourselves, and you recognize the importance of you and the importance of each other. So yeah, beautiful. I love this message. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to see which oracle decks I get pulled to, and then I'm going to pull 2 more cards and see what else Spirit wants to bring through. Let's get into it. First deck I'm drawn to is the Guides of the Hidden Realms. So let's get into it and see what wants to come through. All right, Spirit, what else wants to come through for this collective? What other message would like to come through for this? Oh, Jesus. Okay, that flew out. Spirit said, I know what to say today. I didn't even have to stop. All right, let's flip it and see what's coming through. All the time in the world. Interesting. It says, having enough time and time management. And there's a clock with it. Looks like an all-seeing eye or an awareness, the third eye. There's a heart, there's green, so I'm thinking heart chakra. So what's also interesting is the other day when I was meditating, not on the one about asking about today's reading, but the one before that, I did a meditation and I saw a green hue. So I kind of wonder if this card was also coming through for that. Interesting. Let's read into it and see what the guidebook says. Okay, key concepts: the quality of time, stretching time, man-made versus natural time, feeling like you're running out of time, time management, slowing down, too much focus on the future. So this was right side up, so we're not going to read this reversed. We're just going to read this first part, all right? Natural time is a fluid state of being, capable of expanding and contracting according to the person who experiences it. Our earliest ancestors knew time through the cycles they observed in the natural world and tracked their life by the cosmos. That said, through our rich human imagination, we discovered many variations of describing the years, days, and minutes, and built systems around them. But if you allow the modern calendar and the ticking clock to dictate your experience, you'll impose unnecessary restrictions on yourself. Maybe rush things along and miss important steps. Time is not running out for you. Your heart knows this truth. There's that heart. But your ego demands that everything happen right now. So it feels like Spirit's calling you forth to allow yourself grace and patience with this unfolding. You have all the space in the world to complete things, achieve things, and experience the success of your intention. Timelessness is actually the truest nature of time. Your only task now is to surrender the clock and be fully present to what you're doing. There is more to be done, so be right here, right now. Time is on your side, and all is more than well. So that's a beautiful message coming forth from Spirit. Beautiful. The next deck that I wanted to read from is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realm. So let's see what else wants to come through for you. All right, Spirit. What other messages would like to come forth for this collective? What else? What else would like to come forth for this collective? What else wants to come forth for this collective? What else? What else? Okay, feeling drawn to stop. The resting tree, patience and stillness. So here we go again. There's that patience coming through. So perhaps in this time of your life, as you're stepping into this new awakening, to be mindful of patience. I'm also getting a lot of that greenery, right? You have that outside. There's a lot of green heart energy here. This looks like you're in the woods, right? There's this call for, this looks like she's curled up, but it feels like not in a bad way. This looks like resting and going into oneself and checking in with oneself. So that truth, that knowledge, that patience of what's happening, just bring it forth. There's this stillness that's being called here, or you're being invited to. So let's see. Let's go ahead and read. Guidebook says, this is right side up, so we're not going to read Challenger, we're just going to read Ally, okay? Patience and stillness. The resting tree is a sign for you to stop focusing and planning and to be at peace in the moment. This is the representative of non-action and relaxation. Patience is the key to being with this ally. The resting tree asks you to slow down, to sit back, to watch the roses bloom and the birds feed in the meadow. This isn't the time to forge ahead in any way. You may not be taking enough breaks, so you're invited to be still and contemplate your good fortune, even if it means blessing the chaos in your life. Interesting. So it feels like the door is open here, and this did feel a little chaotic, and it feels like you've outgrown this, but it's calling you to patience. There is a possibility to call to patience, because on the other side of this, okay, on the other side of this chaos that's happening with you right now, there is this openness, this awareness, this other side of you, this abundance, this ascension, this higher perspective that's going to blossom. So in this now, if you feel stuck here, look inwards, have patience, have grace, and know that you are seeding and growing, and there is more beyond this door. You're getting a peek at what lies beyond. And when you are ready to step through that, when you get to that point where you've taken breaks for yourself and you're ready to step into this next part, beautiful things await you. Beautiful things. Love and trust your journey and respect where you are right now. You're invited to be still and contemplate your good fortune, even if it means blessing the chaos in your life. This is a sign to allow everything to fall away, except the stillness of the moment. It's like living within the space between breaths. When the resting tree appears, it signals that you've done all you can do for now, and it's time to unwind and allow your story to unfold of its own accord. You've earned the right to rest and relax. Amazing ideas will come to you if you do. Remember the ancient saying, We do without doing, and everything gets done. Beautiful. There's another saying. I'm going to mispronounce the man's name, so I don't want to say it. It's an ancient mystic, but it says, like, looking at nature, you would think, I'm paraphrasing, but essentially, everything gets done in nature. Everything has its time. There's no rush. There's no rush in nature, essentially, and everything still gets done. So trust, right? Every season has its moment. Everything takes its time. The trees grow, the birds and the flowers and the bees like bloom and blossom and are born and go through their phases, right? There's reasoning for the phases that happen. There are reasonings for, right? The caterpillar has to go through that stage to then become, the chrysalis, to then emerge as the butterfly, right? The dragonfly is in its pupal state, and it goes through this whole thing, and it becomes a dragonfly. It just completely metamorphizes, it metamorphizes, like it changes completely. Yeah, I have my master's degree. I can speak. Honestly, you would think I don't, but I do. Anyways, stuttering a lot today, but that's okay. Neither here nor there. We're human. Setting this floor with light. But anyway, so all these beautiful phases of life, this blossoming, everything that happens in this world is for a reason. So breathe. Trust that you've done what you can do. Trust, like you're here putting out these pots and pans and they're filling, and you've done what you can do. Trust that's what is no longer meant to serve will leave your life, or if it's meant to be reworked, it'll be reworked. So if there's home improvements, they'll be fixed. If that house isn't meant for you, something else will come along. Trust in yourself and your journey and your story, and know that you've done a lot, but allow yourself breaks, grace, patience, rest, patience. I feel like with a lot of the chaos going in this world, right? Allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to know that your story is super important here. That your light is super important here. Give yourself the grace. Give yourself a moment of pause, of respite. It's going to be okay. It's going to blossom. There's beautiful pathways ahead. There's higher perspectives and this empowered version of you, because no matter what's happening right now, you're going to make it through with this truth and this wisdom and this strength, but this grounded, comfortable, beautiful strength of yourself. And in this living your story, you're helping to inspire others to see the beauty in you and in them. And if you can do it, I can do it. And if you survived, I can survive. And we've got this, and we're getting through this. But for now, allow yourself just to breathe. It's going to be okay. You've got this. Allow, trust, don't give up. Don't give up. Be the light. And sometimes it means just being the light for yourself. Allowing the pause. You've got this. I believe in you. The universe sees you and is witnessing you. The universe believes in you. I can't wait to see you come out of this chrysalis phase, and turn into a butterfly, to become that dragonfly, to be that bird soaring to the biggest heights, an eagle, a falcon, however you envision yourself. I can't wait to see that version of you. For now, be still. Gather your energy. Nurture yourself. You've got this. Sending you lots of love and light. If you do want a personal reading, please know that my Etsy and my Ko-Fi stores are available. If not, you don't have that time right now. I just appreciate your sharing your energy here, and I look forward to seeing you at the next reading. Thanks again. Bye.